would like to share what is the number one thing that gets in between most people reaching their goals. What do you think it is? Graham? Fear of success. That's great. What else? Get out of their own way, their own worst enemy. James?
Fear of failing someone else.
Fear of failing someone else. This is all great. Patrick?
Waiting until I'm perfect.
Waiting until I'm perfect. Great. One more?
Comfort with how things are when you don't achieve your goal.
Wait, one more time?
Comfort with how things are today.
Okay, so like not wanting to upset the apple cart and just kind of keep it clean with the comfort or familiarity. So before I release this next slide, I just want to let you know I have a strong background in statistics. And this is the most statistically significant study I've ever seen, and I'm so excited to share it with you. You guys ready? Who cares about most people? You're you. What most people don't do won't help us. So what I want you to do is just take a look now at the palm of your hand and look past the manicure. And notice how each one of our fingers are different. And we have unique fingerprints on every single one. I mean, my gosh, so amazing. You're not a problem to be solved. You know how some people talk to you and they're like, I'm going to fix you. That's not going to happen today. So here's my experience as a leadership coach, why most people don't reach their goals, and you hit on it right there, is that we are not aligned with who we are. Most of us don't know what values are. We don't learn them in high school. And one way that we don't reach our goals is that we're in conflict. Our values are in conflict. The other thing is we don't know what a crew is. For some of us that came from an abusive background, we have a harder start because our safety needs weren't met. And so sometimes our picker is a little bit broken, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk a little bit about what crew is. But we're focusing mainly on values because when I ask people, well, what are your values? They're not really quite sure how to articulate that unless they have a formal background in it. So how many coaches do we have in the room? If you could just raise your hand, how many coaches are in the room that have been trained to listen for values? So if you don't mind, I might call on you later because, like I said, this is interactive. And so I might ask for you to help your crew, which is our community, identify their values. My promise to you is that before you leave here today, you're going to know your values a little bit better than you did when you walked in. So no alignment in values, no crew, and no exit strategy is goal failure. So who can tell me, I know we have some coaches in the room, what are personal values? They're your compass. It's the undercurrent of how we make decisions, right? Sometimes we don't even know what it is. We just don't feel good about it. If something bothers us, somebody said something, and we take it a different way, and we don't like that. What else? So if values are our compass, how might it be important to know what our values are when we're planning our goals? Why is it important to why are we talking about this, right? But I am totally leaning into you guys right now because I know you have the answer, Patrick.
Because when we are living our values, we are energized.
That's right. Did everybody hear that?
When we are living our values, we are energized and we come alive.
So I heard a couple people clicking, and I would love if we could do that just to help each other. So if somebody says something that resonates with you, we do this in the inner circle, we just click. All right. So they're guideposts to make an evaluated decision, and they're our unique rule book. Nobody's like us, and what we're looking for today are your personal values that are unique to you as the fingerprints on the palm of your hand. When our values are conflicted, we're stuck. And so we're going to talk about that a little more. So as Patrick said, when we're fully aligned with our values, we feel fulfilled. And for some of us, that means every day feels like a Friday. So in order to do that, we have to know what our values are, number one. Number two, we have to prioritize them. And three, when there's differences in our conflicts, we have to know how to get out of it. So engaging our leader within, we know we haven't. And engaging with people that are safe. We talked a little bit earlier about who are safe people. Are they our family members? Some of them maybe, some of them not. But who in your life has 100% commitment to your success? These are the people that we're vulnerable with by nature. Go ahead and take a moment now and write down, what is the most adventurous thing you've ever done? What's the most adventurous thing you've ever done? When we're children, we're automatically aligned with who we are. We're whole. We're naturally creative and resourceful and whole. But in this picture, I forgot about all that because I was a teenager. And what did I want to do? I didn't know. Because the voices got muffled in my head from all of the negative depression and mental illness in my family. So I grew up in a trailer in Davie, Florida. I'm Latin, I have a New York accent, and I'm part Jewish. Do you think I was going to say any of that to those people? No, I didn't. So I had this leader within that I knew, and I was rejecting it. I didn't have a lot of people to lean on. I didn't have a crew. I didn't even know that I was the captain of my own ship. I didn't have any of this inner alignment that we're talking about today. But I remember in the summertime, Mom and I would sing. She'd tell me about the dreams of my family and all the things she wanted for me. And she sang to me as the day went by. I want to live, not only survive. But see, my mom never sang those words. I had only hoped she had. So what I did, I aligned with my adventurous value of wanting to sing. I quit my job. I moved to Russia, and I worked in an orphanage. One of the best decisions I ever made. And I sang a lot. I released some albums, did some jingles and stuff like that. So why am I asking you to reach in and remember the most adventurous thing you've ever done? Because we're going to need that teenage healthy part of ourselves to confront the status quo. When our priorities and when our values start conflicting, we need to reach within and align. And how do we do that? Well, we're never going to lose who we are, and we never stop growing. So we have this inner child and this adventurous teenager to tap into. And then what's going to happen is we're going to pick one thing that we can do to honor that value more fully, because it's really good to talk about it, but it's much better to actually do something with it. So, for example, if I had asked her that, which I didn't, she would have said, actually, Roseanne, what is one small thing you can do to honor your values this afternoon? Just one small thing that you could do to honor those two values.
One small thing I could do to honor my values is to be supportive of my crew.
Say more.
And to care for them and to help them get to the answers that they're seeking.
Yeah, that's good. Okay, so we're going to get in groups of 4. So actually, there's 4 per table. So if that would work for you guys, let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to give you 4 minutes and 30 seconds. And so one person in each group, now that you guys are sort of getting settled, one person in each group, when you're together, raise your hand. One person in each group, whoever, it doesn't have to be anybody. Okay, so one hand here. Everybody, one person, raise your hand. This table here. Keep your hand out. Hold on 1 second. Sorry, I confuse you. Okay, so the person that raised their hand, you're person A. You don't want to be person A? Okay, don't worry about it. So whoever raised their hand, you're person A. So you're going to start this conversation. Now, person that just raised their hand, point to someone in the group. Point. Point to somebody in the group. Anybody in the group. Point. Whoever just raised their hand, point. Okay, whoever you just pointed to is person B. And in 4 minutes and 30 seconds, we're going to shift and help each other. I'm going to be walking around. Roseanne's going to be walking around. So if you have any questions, we'll come to you, okay? All right, let's get started. What lights went off? Barbara?
Light that went off for me was there was one value I really was not honoring, and it put it right in the front of my mind that, wow, you say it's a value, but you're not doing it.
Not living it.
Yeah.
Do you mind sharing with the group what it was?
Yeah, it was my creativity.
Yeah.
There's some things that I want to be doing that are right in front of my face at home, and I'm not doing them, and they make me happy.
Yeah, they give you that energy, right?
Right.
Awesome. One more share?
So I realized that a big value for me is control, and I've always seen that as a bad thing because I come from an abusive background as well, where I was controlled a lot. But I realized that control can actually be a really good value.
Say more.
I think it's important to know, to value that you are in control of your life and you decide
You get
what
to
you want to do. Right.
You get to be empowered for yourself.
And so control, just right now, just with Becky telling me that, control turned into a good thing and now has a good connotation rather than a negative one.
Wow, that's great. That's great. Thank you. All right, so there's different learning styles, and some of us learn better when it's quiet, and I really want to be of service and provide value for you today. So we're going to take 3 minutes, and if you would like to go through this exercise, it's on the board. And if you don't want to do this exercise, I'm totally cool with that. I would just ask that you would be quiet and respect the space, and either leave now or just give us 3 minutes of silence so some of us that are internal learners can learn. So go ahead and do that now. I'll give you a 10-second warning. Okay, we're going to wrap up. So lining in with your internal crew, your childlike imagination, your wholeness. You're not a problem to be solved. Challenge the status quo. Your own. And if it's hard to do that, get a crew. Get a coach. Get a mentor. Get a mastermind group. You're not alone. Never again. You're never, ever going to be alone again. Thank you for letting me share.